morning, my name is Anne, just in case you didn't know. And this morning I'd like to share with you Psalm 40, verses 1 to 3. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. When I was in hospital about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided to look at Psalms for my quiet time. It's not very quiet in a 26-bed ward, but I also took notes, and when Nick gave us this challenge, I looked back at those notes and I came across this psalm. And even in those 3 verses, I want to look back and look forward. I had just had a very complicated hip operation with no guarantee of success. And as I looked at these verses, I was really comforted. He lifted me out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. And that operation was a complete success. So I did have a firm place to stand. But it's also followed up by a challenge. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. And I realised that I needed to tell people about God's provision for me, how, with the aid of medical expertise, he had stepped in and helped that operation to be a complete success. So I hope I did fulfil that by telling people how great our God is. But there's also a challenge in that. And in these days, I just think that God is putting a new song in our mouths, a hymn of praise to him, that many will see and fear and put their trust in God. We've heard several words from God over these past few weeks, from Lisa, from Lucretia and from Ollie, about how we're going to go forward once this lockdown is over. And Ollie in particular spoke about opening the gates. And I feel that instead of opening the gates and the doors of the church for people to come in, that maybe God is saying to us, we need to go out. We need to go out and we need to tell people this new song that is in our hearts, that many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. Let's just pray. Open up the gates of our lives, Lord. Show us how to use the opportunity this pandemic has given us. Amen.